I've written on magic a nice story about the way how you get to put your hand on an aquarium
Yes.
to go out. The first step was to put a hand on the wooden table.
The glass table.
And after the glass table,
Yes.
with the salt.
Yes.
And the next step was, it's happening like this. You,
Yes, there's always a progression.
Yes.
It starts with, you know, the very standard version, which was mind-blowing when we saw David Blaine do it at the beginning, which is the card-on window. And then the ratings, you know, we look at the ratings during the show, and we can see the high points and the low points.
Oh, good.
And so when we reflected back on my first television special, people talked quite highly about the card-on window. So when we created the second special, the producers asked me, is there something that you could do that's similar? And I'm thinking, okay, so if I did the same trick, how would I do it? So we decided, I thought, why don't we do it with a submarine? There's a tour submarine with glass windows. Unfortunately, the day that we filmed, there were no fish. Usually there's lots of fish swimming around. Because there was a storm just a couple of days before and the water was very murky. So I did the same trick with the card-on window, but in the submarine. And then, you know, sure enough, the people start writing all the blogs saying, okay, this is set up, and you know, it's a very big compliment when I do something and people think that it's a camera trick, because it's not a camera trick. It's 100% real. That these are real people watching in a real everyday situation. So then on the fourth special, I wanted to take the same trick and even do it something that was more impossible. So we started thinking, what if we did it at an aquarium where it was a complete, you know, tank and you can see everything. And so we worked on it. It took about 1.5 years in the making.
Do you have someone, a big equipe that work with you, or you are just alone?
My team?
Yes.
Yes. Good question. I do have a team of people that I work with. It's not very big. Too many chefs spoil the broth. You've heard of this before, right? So the same with, you know, the magic that we create. I work with a very good dear friend of mine, Enrico Della Vega, who also produced them. He also was a graduate of the Magic Castle. We became friends when we were very young. I have been working with him and a group of tight friends. I'd like to call the people that I work with is like family. So I call them friends and family. And I don't, we always welcome outside guests to help in the creation and development, but ultimately I try to keep everything very tight.
Can I show you a film just and tell me what does it remember to you? And
I'm scared. What are you going to show me?
Something that we get. Oh, come. Tell me what does it remember to you? I know that have you seen it in 1994, and you phoned her and said, "Oh, it's a good idea. Can you have the permission?" You ask her the permission.
Yes, this is brings back memories. I have not done this magic and illusion a very long time. When I first saw this, I thought it was such an incredible effect that I immediately contacted her. And she was only 15 or 14 at the time, so I had to go through her parents. Say again?
And you almost, you was very young as well.
So I contacted her, and they basically said that this is not a professional act, and that I was granted permission to explore working on my own version.
And this is the correct way to do it. If you see something that you like, it's better to go to the creator and ask the permission to do it.
I absolutely think that is the way that you should do it. You should always give respect to the people who work very hard at creating art.
And afterward, you have done it, but with transformation of your body. You look really old.
I've done this effect several different times.
Yes.
I've done it on them in America. I've done it as me, and I've also done it transformed into an old man. Basically, after my second special, it was getting a little bit difficult to film some magic scenes in Japan because people would say, there's that guy who does magic. They would still not remember my name because I was still new, but they would remember that I was the guy who did magic. So when the cameras rolled, it just everybody would come. And often we had such a hard time filming in some locations in Tokyo. So I thought, what if I disguise myself and I look like somebody that nobody can recognize me? And that's how Grandpa Cyril was born.
Like Jackass. You
Yes, yes. In fact, I was also inspired by Jackass. I remember seeing Johnny Knoxville do that, and I thought that was a great principle to marry with magic.
And even because the Japanese people is really shy, and when you approach them, it was like this, even to mask yourself.
Well, I mean, I have so many interesting stories. When I first went on, when I first was filming my first special, I remember being shooed. You know, like I was like, "Excuse me," and then I remember they didn't know who I was, and they're like, you know, they saw the cameras, they're like, "Shh, shh, shh, get out of here." I have so many interesting stories, but. Yes.
And it was the way to be in contact with the people. So when you were an old man, no one should
Because nobody's ever mean to an old person. Everyone's always very genuine and sincere and nice. You know, if an old man or an old lady approaches you and he says, you know, excuse me, you listen, right? You don't. So that was kind of what we were going for.
Yes. Now I'm speaking to a superstar, but you are really a nice guy. I feel you feel so friendly with everyone.
Thank you.
So nice. But what is the suggestion that you can say to the people to make one step further?
Never stop believing in yourself. Be genuine to who you are. Don't try to be someone that you're not. And people will recognize true art and the gift inside of you if you stay true to yourself. That's what I have to say. Yeah, I mean that's the. I mean I can't say anything further right now in this brief conversation. In one sentence, all I have to say is. Stay true to who you are and believe in yourself and your own powers and go out there and keep doing what you're doing. That's all I have to say.
And the last question is, what is magic for Cyril?
Magic. Magic to me is a way of life. I know nothing else other than magic. Magic will stick with me till the day that I die. Magic is about giving joy and wonderment, making an impact on people's lives, putting a smile on people's faces, even if it's a smile, even if it's just for a second a day, one smile at a time. And by giving others that joy, that in itself is like magic.
Okay, thanks a lot, Cyril. You were so generous with us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.